happiness. It doesn't matter what party you're in. If you're an American, you believe in those things. And so last year we made our decision. And I have to tell you, it was a tough decision. You see, I've never run for political office in my life. We run our family business. Susan and I have a great life. My wife and I started first grade together. And she's my very best friend in all the world. And I know that has been recorded. Unfortunately, they don't tell the good things, because in my life, that's golden. She is my trusted advisor. And we make decisions together. And we have been blessed with 4 daughters, Samantha, Stephanie, Allie, and Addie. And I must be truthful with you in that they are a tremendous motivation, because I believe that they deserve a future of freedom, a future of opportunity. That my girls, Samantha and Stephanie right now, who are in college, that they deserve to put in the hard time, to burn the midnight oil, to study, to cram, to do all the things that college students want to do to get that degree. They should have job opportunities awaiting them when they get out of college. And unfortunately, you know and I know, but that's being hampered a little bit. It's being hampered. And I believe it is being hampered not by natural causes, but by man-made causes. And that bothers me for my children. And that should bother you for your children and your grandchildren. So last year, we made the decision. We had enough. And we're going to get out of the boat. And the very first thing that one of my consultants did is he took some black ink and he painted a big bullseye on the back of my back. He said, you know what? You're going to face incredible heat. You're going to be shot at. You're going to be lied about. You're going to be mischaracterized. But as long as you look in the mirror and you recognize the man that you see, and you stand on the 6 deeply held values that I've always claimed that I have: respect, discipline, excellence, honesty, courage, and loyalty. And as long as I look in the mirror and I see evidence of those 6 values, the values of my faith, and I am a man of faith, as long as I'm a man that's proud of my family, as long as we're willing to work hard and to be generous and kind to those who are less fortunate, despite the mischaracterizations, I have to tell you something. Steve Sutherland loves those that are in need. I have committed my life to helping others, whether it's serving on the Salvation Army Advisory Board and working with the Domestic Violence Program, whether it was being the chairman of the Early Learning Coalition of Northwest Florida for 4.5 years, thanks to the appointment of Governor Bush, and caring for almost 5,000 children in 7 counties, 6 of those rural, knowing that our children that we serve were at or below 150% of the poverty level. And in incredibly poor areas of this district, Franklin, Liberty counties, they need people to help them. And I'm proud of our record of helping those that sometimes just cannot help themselves. And I got to tell you something, it does burn me up. It burns me up at the mischaracterizations, because you don't know me, but you're learning about me. You're learning about me. We're coming, and we're coming hard, and we're going to represent the people. Republicans, Democrats, Independent. It's the people. It's the people. You know, I promise that the good Lord continues to smile on our campaign, and we have the honor of being your next congressman, that I will listen. I will listen. Growing up in a business where we must listen to those we serve, again, living in a house with 5 women, I will listen. I will listen. We must create a dialogue. You must tell me your hurts, your challenges. You must tell me the struggles that you have. Whether you are a state worker, all can't be rosy. Whether you're a member of academia, all can't be rosy. Or whether you're in a private family-owned business and you're sweating a payroll every day and you don't know how to squeeze a dollar out of a dime. We must communicate. You must speak to me and I must listen. We must have a conversation. And so today, I'm honored that you have allowed me to take the very first step with members of this club to begin a conversation. I'm not flashy. I don't have all the answers. I can't wave a magic wand and make all the challenges that we face go away. But I know this. If we communicate and we practice that value of respect, which really starts with self-respect, that we can send men and women to Washington, D.C., and statesmanship can once again be the order of the day. That you and I can disagree, and that's okay. It is through our disagreement that we hammer issues out, that we peel an onion from a lot of different sides to get down to the issues that we really face. Whether it be immigration, whether it be energy, whether it be education, I believe that this country has always worked hard together to find the solutions to the most difficult problems we face. Are we a perfect nation? No, we're not. We're not. And we never will be. It's like a church. You join a perfect church, you just ruined it. It's like America. We're not perfect. But we are the last best hope of freedom. And there's never been a society in recorded history where freedom has been lost and regained. And I believe that everyone in this room believes in freedom. And so therefore, in order to perpetuate that, protect it, and care for it going forward, we must talk. We must communicate. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here with you today. A couple bullet points I want to make sure that you understand about Steve Sutherland. Steve Sutherland will never, ever do anything to undermine or to violate the promises that we have made to the generation that I believe are part of the greatest generation that our country has ever known. We must fulfill our commitments to our seniors through Social Security and Medicare. He won't get that right, and I understand that. I understand that. But we will. Bill, maybe you will. Maybe you'll get that right. We will fulfill our commitments to our seniors. You know what? We've also got to make sure and make sure that everyone in this country has opportunity. Everyone. Everyone. And we have to make sure that people understand that part of creating opportunity for themselves to be personally responsible for their future is a willingness to work if you're physically able. If you're of working age and you are physically able, work is a good thing. Work is a wonderful thing. My family has signed tens of thousands of death certificates down through the years. Tens of thousands. And not one death certificate has ever read that this individual died from work. That's never been a cause of death. Ever. I tell my children all the time, girls, 15 is the magic age in this house. Guess what? You are going to join the ranks of the gainfully employed. I'm not giving you $20 bills just because I can. I want to protect my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, and they will know the value of the sweat of their brow. And they will benefit from your sweat, and you will benefit from mine. So girls, there was work in the Garden of Eden before the fall. In God's perfect utopia, man and women work. And He honors hard work. And He honors honest dealings. And He has in this country for hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of years. You know, our forefathers would call that a self-evident truth. Today, I call that common sense. Common sense. In our house, when the sun comes up, you're going to be working because you physically can, and it is God ordained. And you will take control of your future. Now, another thing that I've heard many people talk about, especially my opponent, is that Steve Sutherland wants to pass a 23% tax increase. That's not true. That's not true. That's just a flat-out fabrication. And I think that we need tax reform in this country. But before we have tax reform, we've got to have spending reform. Non-defense, non-discretionary spending has increased almost 80% in the last 2 years. We've got a spending problem. Like I said, money's flowing like milk and honey in Washington, D.C. There is no recession there. We have a spending problem. We've got to get Americans back to work. We've got to get Floridians back.